Are you thinking of moving to Seattle? Well, I live in Seattle. Now, let me tell you a few things about Seattle. Are you more reserved? Like to be left alone? Private? A loner, maybe? Well, Seattle is the best place for you. Okay, now, so, hey guys, welcome, and thank you guys so much for watching. Now, this is a video about anyone out there who is thinking of moving to Seattle, wanting to live, enjoy the mountains, you know, the rain, of course, and the grain. We are the city and the state of grain. So this is my little advice and my point of view of living in Seattle. So I live in Seattle. I've been living in Seattle for about 10 years now, you know. So trust me, I know a lot about Seattle. Now, first thing first, if you don't like the rain, please do not move to Seattle, okay? We have only about 3 months of summer, and the rest of the 9 months, it's rain. I mean, during the winter time, it barely snows, but sometimes we do have a little snow here and there. But this is a state of rain. That's why everything here is so green and nice and beautiful. So if you don't like the rain, don't move to Seattle. It doesn't rain very heavy every single day. Most of the time, it's just a little drizzle here and there, but it's wet, pretty much. If you're a party person, especially you Africans out there or Liberians or whoever you are, if you love parties, this is not a state for you. I'm sorry to say. We do have clubs once in a while, occasionally we have parties, but if you are into that lifestyle of every weekend having fun, going out and enjoying yourself, you can go to a few clubs, but then it's not the same as the East Coast or the West Coast, you know, like Philadelphia, for example, Minnesota, Atlanta. No, this is a more reserved area. It's more reserved for families and career-oriented people. If you're single, don't move to Seattle. Unless if you're willing to get adapted into the system and just work once in a while, occasionally have fun. Seattle is pretty expensive. It's an expensive state to live in. Now, that doesn't mean an average person or a middle class or whatever you call them cannot live in Seattle. But it is an expensive state. But we do pay well too. We have the highest minimum wage. I'm not sure if we're the only state, but we do have the highest minimum wage. So we pay really good, but we're expensive as well. So you kind of balance that out and think if that's what you want. This is a state of career-oriented family. So like I said previously, if you're more reserved, you're passive, and you like to be left alone, you're not too much of a social person who, when you don't have fun in a little while, you can go crazy, do not move to Seattle. Because trust me, it can get depressing sometimes, you know, especially when you're single and you're just here working Monday to Friday. You only have the weekends, and during the weekends you don't see a lot of fun stuff going on. You're gonna get crazy, and it's gonna be very, very, very depressing if you don't know how to handle or go about your business. Okay, the rent, some places the rent is very, very ridiculous. Like if you go to Bellevue, just because it's the city Bellevue, the rent is already like this. Now if you come to Tacoma or Tequila, it's about, you know, in this range. But do you want to meet Bill Gates? Well, you can come to Seattle because Bill Gates lives in Washington State. He lives in Medina, and no, you can't move to Medina because it's extremely expensive. Buying a house in Seattle, oh Lord, for those of us who live here and wish to buy a home someday, we can only hope that we can be given that chance to get a home for ourselves, because sometimes I just feel like, because Bill Gates lives here. He contributes to making the place more expensive. He needs to move out. He really needs to move out. But no, I don't want him to move out because of him and the rest of the rich people around. You know, we tend to have a very beautiful state. Our roads are gorgeous. Everything is so big and nice. And, you know, we have Microsoft all over the place. If you're a tech person, move to Seattle. Because you're going to have Microsoft. And we got Boeing. Of all things, Boeing is right in our city. We have, now, it's not going to be hard for you to find a job. Because there is jobs everywhere. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to come to you just like that. But, you know, we have a lot of factories, jobs floating everywhere. So, Boeing, Microsoft, and all these big companies, Amazon, welcome to Seattle. Like I said, if you're a career-oriented person, this is the state for you. Now, one thing I personally don't like about Seattle is the traffic is ridiculous. Like, you have to give yourself 30 to 60 minutes to get to work. Like, seriously. It can, during rush hour time, it's like bumper to bumper. It's, the traffic can be very ridiculous sometimes. Like, most of the time, you know. We don't have a lot of crimes in Seattle. I'm not saying crimes don't happen, but compared to other states, we are the 4th on the list, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Our crime rate is very low compared to other states. So I can say it's pretty safe to live here. You can move out here and you will have a peace of mind. Don't get me wrong though, there's crimes everywhere. But our crime rate is low compared to other states. When it comes to natural disaster, in the past, years ago, I wasn't here at the time, so you can imagine. I believe they've had some minor earthquakes. I believe there was a time when a volcano happened. There was ashes everywhere. But that happens very rarely. This is not like California where tornadoes are hitting in every other weekend. You know, we haven't had any massive natural disaster happening here. So I can tell you, you're pretty safe if you want to move to Seattle. You know, natural disaster, put that on the left. Seattle is a very diverse city. It's a very diverse state. We have a mixture of all race you can think of, you know. We have Asians. Oh, Lord, we have quite a few Asians here. We have quite a few Mexicans. We have a few Africans, you know, from different parts of Africa. But the Asians are a lot, though. The Asians are a lot. I mean, the diversity is just here. You know, people are loving, people are kind. Not everyone, of course, but majority of the citizens, you know, they're very nice, loving people, helpful. And when it comes to politics, we are a democratic state, I believe. Yes, we are. We love to go protesting. This is a state where every little thing, when it happens, you're going to see protesters out there protesting. And that is a good thing, you know. That's our right. We go out there and protest to make sure things change and we have the right people in government, right? That's what we're for. We have a variety of foods, like I said earlier, diversity, so different foods. When you come to Seattle, you're going to have a good time if you're a food lover, you know. I personally don't eat out a lot, but when I do, I know I get a good meal. Now, this is a state for coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, welcome to Seattle. There are Starbucks in every little corner you pass by. Like, seriously. Sometimes I'm like, I don't drink coffee. But everywhere you go, there's a Starbucks somewhere. You know? That's Seattle there for you.
Free.
We have marriage equality. If you're gay, bi, les, this is the state for you. You can marry whoever you want, anywhere you want, anytime you want. So go ahead and come and move into Seattle and get married to whoever you want, okay? That's your right. And, of course, marijuana is legal. Oops. We have a lot of steep hills around here, so make sure you have the right car from Seattle, you know? A lot of steep hill. If you drive a steak, make sure you're really good at steak. Because when you go downtown Seattle and you're coming up those hills, it's very scary. But it's not that bad. I mean, you're a good driver, right? So, hey, if you are a Seahawk fan, well, come on to Seattle. No state income tax. However, we do the federal tax, but no state income tax. So that shouldn't be a concern to anybody, you know. Our sale rate is pretty high compared to other states. Yeah, sometimes I go to the store and I'm like, $5 and then, oh, you have to pay $7. It's ridiculous. But what can you do? You live here, you enjoy it, so. Nature here is beautiful, like I said. It rains a lot. The trees are green. It's very beautiful. This is a beautiful state. Everything is clean and nice. We have a very nice bus system. The bus run very frequently. Now, you do have to have a car depending on where you live because sometimes it's very hard, you know, to get on the bus. But the bus system here is very nice. Africans, you know, if you're my African brother and sister and you want to move out to Seattle, I say go ahead and do so. This is a very beautiful state. I mean, it might be somewhat expensive, but if you're getting paid more than what you're getting paid from the previous state, it's about the same pretty much. You know, they have very affordable housing, renting situation around here. So I'm pretty sure you can get a decent place to stay. Bill Gates is here, so you can go to Bill Gates Foundation and meet him if you have the chance. Seattle is beautiful. I like it. I love it. The only time I think I'll move out of Seattle is when I have a job opportunity somewhere. I don't even think I want to move. I might just go do my job and come back. Or live there for a while and come back. You know? I'm a pretty reserved person, relaxed. I don't go out very often. I'm boring. Yes, I am boring. So that's why Seattle is for me. But if you are a very social person, you love to have a good time every weekend, you can move to Seattle. But you will have to find all those. It's not very easy to come in handy compared to like Philly. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So all in all, I love Seattle. It's great. You can go between the pros and cons and decide if you want to move to Seattle or not. But I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching. And make sure to subscribe. And check all my social medias out. And follow me. And I'll follow you back. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you and bye.